Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and today we're going to be talking about Jinpachi Mishima. Now Jinpachi is the father of Heihachi, and is also the founder of the Mishima Zaibatsu, except in his ownership, he hadn't devised and changed the company into a military unit. Jinpachi was a man of honor and wisdom, and if anything, out of anyone to have touched the Mishima bloodline, he was the most noble. Now behind closed doors, not much is known about Jinpachi. We don't really know anything about his wife, or the relationship he really had with Heihachi, but from what we can tell in Tekken 5 is that the two had a very strained relationship. You see, Heihachi had always had his eyes on Jinpachi's success, but Jinpachi wasn't quite ready to pass over the Mishima Zaibatsu to him, as he was well aware of his son's thirst for power, as the two did train a lot since Jinpachi owned his own dojo. He understandably would pass over his teachings to his young son, with the hopes that this would make him rather humble. But of course this did not happen, until he met a woman called Kazumi. She had come to his dojo in order to train with himself and Heihachi, and over time Heihachi and Kazumi grew to love each other, eventually having their child Kazuya, and Jinpachi was very fond of his grandson, taking him under his wing and being extremely kind to him, as well as teach him the Mishima style karate. And at this point Jinpachi believed that Heihachi had now become humble, he had his head on his shoulders, and he had become a family man. But unfortunately Jinpachi couldn't be more wrong. Heihachi would stage a coup against his father, and gain ownership of the Mishima Zaibatsu. Now Jinpachi was not happy about this, and did attempt to retake it, but ultimately did fail. Now due to Heihachi's rather cruel humor, he would imprison his father under the temple Honmaru, and he would more or less leave his father to rot and die in there. At least that is what Heihachi had thought. Jinpachi did die, but whilst on the brink of death, his body had become possessed by a vengeful spirit. But this vengeful spirit would in fact lay dormant, up until Tekken 4. At the end of Tekken 4, the Honmaru temple is destroyed, and this releases Jinpachi Mishima. Now in this current point in time, there is no head of the Mishima Zaibatsu. Heihachi had apparently been killed at the Honmaru attack, so Jinpachi would in fact step up to the plate, and hold the 5th King of the Iron Fist tournament. Now despite being part of this vengeful spirit, Jinpachi had secretly hoped that by holding this tournament he could find someone that could put him out of his misery. Jinpachi is a man that wanted to be at rest. He had died, and he didn't want his body, spirit and reputation to go on in this way. So he in fact held the 5th King of the Iron Fist tournament with the hopes that someone would finally vanquish him, and that so it did. His defeat was met at the hands of his great-grandson, Jin Kazama. Although Jinpachi hadn't known anything about him at the time, Jinpachi had finally been able to be laid to rest. And that's really it for the Jinpachi video, guys. I know it's a rather short one, but I do want to tidy up the Mishima family and kind of give everyone the full context and story behind this family. Next week I'll be covering Jin Kazama to kind of wrap up everyone that's involved there. Now I will say that Jinpachi's story arc is a very tragic one. Out of all of the Mishimas, he was probably the only one with a good heart. And I guess in many cases, I'm glad in Tekken 5 he never met his grandson Kazuya, because if Jinpachi could see what Kazuya had become, I think he would be ashamed. And with a man essentially yearning for his own death, I think that would torture his soul beyond death. Another little fun fact for you guys about Jinpachi, he does not have the Devil Gene. He'd purposely been advertised as having it because Harada wanted to mislead fans, and keep it so that he could keep messing with their heads. Of course we now know the truth from Tekken 7, and where the Devil Gene does originate from, although there still isn't a lot of context behind it. So yeah, Jinpachi possessed by evil demonic spirit, not Devil Gene. So in the comments below, please go off and let me know who you want to see after I do the June video. Would you like me to do some more Street Fighter stuff? Please comment below. And I just want to let you guys know that a good friend of mine, King J, is currently making combo tutorials on his channel to help promote Tekken 7. So if you're struggling with certain characters and want to know them more, go check out his stuff. I've left a playlist of his tutorials in the description below, so please do click on it and take a look at some of the stuff for yourself. They're really damn good, and it's a great way of kind of getting started in Tekken. Now before we wrap up here, if possible, let's try getting this video to about 500 likes. It's a great way of supporting this channel, as YouTube's still currently going through its adpocalypse. Anyway, as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I'll see you all next time.